Well, hello everyone. Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's been a very long time since I have made my last video, and I think it was August, end of August, and it wasn't even about USB, whatever. It wasn't even about the keyboard or anything. I just got that Sonic thing, and I thought it was so cool, and I wanted to unbox in front of the world. Anyway, yes. So what has happened in this past months, in this past few months that I haven't been making videos? Well, first, if you have watched many of my videos, you're probably gonna see that I am not in the same room in which I used to be, and the reason is that I have since May gotten a job in a company that is in a city which is not exactly where I am living right now. I live in Muscatine, Iowa, but I'm having a job now in Iowa City, and that means 41 miles drive each way, and that's about 65 kilometers each way for those in Europe. Or for those not in the United States, I should be more clear. Anyway, it's a lot of driving time, and I've been developing video games since 2000. Well, only developing video games since 2013 when I quit my job, and I started doing full-time Watermelon, and then I started to dream, and I've gotten used to this rhythm of like first a Watermelon just driving 5 minutes to work and 5 minutes back, and then to dream just basically working from home, and it has been a very long time since I have to drive long time to work, and I had absolutely forgotten the kind of stress that put on the body. The moment I got this job, I was so excited because hey, yay, I'm gonna start finally making money again. That means I'm gonna be able to start buying more parts and building my projects faster and faster. Well, it turns out that every day after those about 15 minutes drive, whenever I get home, not only I get home much later than I used to be used to stopping my to dream work, but I get home and I'm just so tired. And it took all of these months since May, so a little over 6 months, for me to finally get to the stage in which I find myself kind of bored after I'm done with my eating and whatever I need to do, my house chores that I need to take care of after work. And that's when it finally clicked me. So, well, yes, it means that I recovered and I'm finally ready to start, spending a lot of time and programming the keyboard, developing more plans and more parts for it. Anyway, and also the reason I'm not in the same place where I used to film, because that used to be my wife's office before I came. I started on To Dream, and I left my job where I was, and then when I came to work at home, she said like, "Yeah, you can take the office," and I was using it. So now that I have a full-time job in another office, which is very far away from here, she basically say, "Hey, okay, you're not using the office, are you?" I was like, "Not really." So okay, then take your stuff out. So that's basically what happened. Back to the guest room. This is the same place where a lot of Pure Solar was developed. The room is basically similar configuration, but basically this same desk here and these two monitors used to be over there, more over to that side. That's where I sit for many years developing Pure Solar, and I'm here now for the years to come to develop great stuff. So very excited about all of that, and very excited about having all of this energy back again, which is very important when you're developing something. You just want to be able to clear-minded just go and develop and go sometimes a little late at night and not be completely destroyed on the next day when I have to wake up very early to drive all those 40 miles down to Iowa City. So with all of that said, it is not just simply a explanation video. I do have some stuff to show, which I will admit this stuff has been done since probably May or June. But anyway, it's just something that I wanted to show how it works and what it sounds like and all this stuff. So without any more just idle conversation. So let's get to it. So, well, guys, remember the YMK and then how it sounds with this, with my non-existing skills of playing keyboard. So I don't know if it's very visible from this angle, but here there is a little new appendage. So right now I'm gonna go and, bear with me, I'm gonna detach this thing from the tripod, and there we go. It fell, but I caught it. I mean, so anyway, so here it is. This little thing here, basically is just like a joystick potentiometer, like a PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 joystick. And I hooked this thing up basically to handle pitch bends and modulation. So if you move it up, it does modulation. If you move it left or right, pitch bend up, pitch bend down. And I know a lot of people are using to up and down for pitch, but I do have a Roland Phantom, and that's how Roland does that stuff, modulation up and pitch to the left and right. So I decided to just follow the same pattern. If I don't know, if someone doesn't like it, they can just flip this thing, you see, just up and down and then left for modulation. I don't know. The point is that this is basically what I have done recently, but you will see that it is not very gracefully attached. Basically, I only have like regular sticky tape holding the joystick here in place, and these wires just go under the crack on the case down here and then connect to the controller that I have that controls the keys and controls the pitch bending. So what I wanted to do next is basically drill a hole to put this thing in. Now, if you're able to see right here, this hole, these two holes here, and they are not very pretty. And there's another video in which I show when I drill the holes of the back panel, and it's a disaster basically because I just drill a hole with a drill, and then I open up the hole just basically by grinding this whole thing. And I was so excited about doing that because it was the same day that this shell arrived, and I went like 3 a.m. down to the garage drilling holes and making a ridiculously loud noise, and I was so happy that my wife didn't wake up. Anyway, so this time I think I'm gonna try to make a better job here. I bought a Dremel. I'm gonna try to open up the circular hole with a Dremel, and everyone says it's the right tool for it, and I hope it is. I think it's not gonna be any worse than those two holes and the other holes that I made on the back of the case. And then the idea is to find a way to basically get a spacer or something and then screw these things from the top. So ideally we'll have a hole in here and 4 holes for the screws. We'll hold this thing up from the bottom, and then it will basically mount a little flush with the surface of the shell. Okay, now all of that said, I haven't made any sound with this. So let me put this thing back in here, and I'll try not to drop it this time. And there we go. This looks like it's nice. So I'm just gonna move this thing a little forward and try to focus this guy a little more on this. Maybe this way. I don't know. I'm not very skilled. You guys can see, right? Just trying to find a better way so that I don't get basically too much in front of the keys, because there's no point all of you seeing my back, right? Anyway, so very typical. Anyway, there you go. So it will bend all the keys that are on at the time of the bending. And the same goes for the modulation, because, well, essentially one key is a channel, and each channel has their own settings, right? So I have to basically cycle through all the channels and set the modulation and the pitch for each one, and that is basically working pretty well. Now for the modulation, and it's nice because I just discovered that by doing this, if I put just a little modulation, it gets a little sort of a chorus kind of sound to it. Or if you put a lot of modulation, it just sounds weird. But it does sound great in a few patches. For example, if I put it on the, what's the name? The organ. Okay. Right? Now if I put some modulation, and it sounds so 60s or early 70s, like very The Doors, or I don't know, early Rush or something. It's just like so vintage. Other things like the saxophone sounds pretty interesting too, because you can then apply the what's called the modulation to simulate basically like a more so now this may not be the best saxophone. Now, of course, this may not be the best rate for modulation. So to address that, and I'll try not to drop it this time. There you go. To address that, basically, let me see if I can switch the camera. Nope, I can't. This is very disappointing. I'm gonna try to do my best to show the menu without actually looking at the screen. So if I go to the menu and I added a few new settings to it, and on the MIDI settings, I believe. There is a pitch bend range now, which defines how many semitones the pitch bend key. I need to touch here. Oh man, sorry for the annoyance. Yes, there you go. So switching that setting to something else will basically will make the range larger, so you can bend more semitones. Then probably, yeah, in Yamaha settings, here's the LFO settings. So those are the ones that govern the modulation. So in essence, if I set this to a did it lock? Did I crash it? Yes, I think I crashed it. No problem, very easy. Just turn off, turn it on again. All right, so In this, so if I go back to the settings menu and go to the Yamaha settings, and then here I have the frequency for the LFO. So basically I switch this to a lower frequency, for example 3 Hertz, and it's gonna get very low, but anyway, so now I'm gonna go back, exit the menu, and you will see the difference in the sound. Let me put this back here. Oh, I'm so sorry guys. It's been a while since I made the last video, so I guess I got less skilled. But anyway, now you can see the modulation is much slower. So if I had something else, maybe harmonica, I don't know. Well, yeah, like a solo instrument, like I was doing a few minutes ago, the saxophone, and I'm almost getting there. So you see the difference. Yeah, there you go. Not that that's any good by any means when I'm playing, but well, I don't know. There are people in the world who are skilled and that can actually do something interesting with that. I think the whole idea by when someone develops, and I'm really sorry because my tripod is acting up. I think that the thing when someone designs an instrument, the idea is to create possibilities, right? So by adding those functions, stuff like, I don't know, it enables people who know what they're doing to be able to do something with it. And that's basically my goal here. So I'm basically looking at the other instruments, see what they do, see other things I can add to make this more versatile. So with all of that said, I have been mostly studying more hardware designs and other ideas, because what I wanted to do now is to create a MIDI module version of this. So it will be like a smaller, compact module, like something that you see out of Korg, the Roland old modules, like the TB303, the Korg Electribe, and things like that. So I want to basically build it. We have the screen, we have all the buttons to configure. We have one octave set of keys for testing a patch while designing. But the idea is that you will hook up to your keys. You hook up, if you have a MIDI controller, or if you have a keyboard that has MIDI output or input, use that and you hook it up, hook the output to this guy's input, well, not this, but the module version of this, and then it will output the sound, and then you can record. So yeah, it's been a very interesting experience thinking about this module, because yeah, let's be realistic. I will not have cash or enough resources to basically build something like this out of box with the keys and everything. I could possibly adapt and try to redesign the size of this to fit one of those pre-made Chinese shell things, and then, like, you know, buy those things, modify, and then send to people who would like to have one of these. But I think most of the serious composers out there, they have their own keys, they have their own equipment, and they basically just could just attach something like this, and then don't have to worry about, like, the keys. For example, in this guy, the keys are completely horrible, flimsy, and it just doesn't work. Anyway, well, I'm reaching now 20 minutes of video. I guess it's been a very long catch up. Thanks for everyone who watched it through the end. I hope you enjoy seeing this thing in action, and sorry about like the whole confusion with holding in weird angles and stuff. But yes, I plan to continue making videos more often. I'm still working on the adaptation of the Chrono Trigger boss theme to the Yamaha CA2612, and what I was planning is to start doing more lives, and so I still have to figure out how I can hook up everything together so that I can have, you know, like those people who cast, and then they have like this little window when they can show something with the camera and casting the screen, so you can see the entire process, how I go through FL Studio and change all the channels in order to use the keyboard, and then tweak the instruments to make it sound like just right, recording, adding effects, post-recording, other stuff. But until I figure that out, I probably won't be able to be doing those things. I am gonna do more research. The thing is that I don't have a webcam, and I don't know if I'm gonna have budget to get those. Right now I'm on a $50 allowance, so I have to save all the money that I can, because I need to buy an oscilloscope, and those things are expensive. A good oscilloscope that can do both digital and analog, it will be around $100. So I need to work probably almost a year to build up enough money to do that. And then all the parts and everything, when I built this, I basically bought exactly the number of parts that I needed to build this for the new one, because I want to, right out of the bat, be able to create the cart, basically the module slot. So it will start with one of these 2x2612, but I really want to do a 2x 2151. That FM chip is just beautiful. I have my suspicions it's the same sound chip that runs the Yamaha DX9, which is a poor cousin of the DX7. And I know I can do it, but I just need to basically, I would need to buy a lot more parts, so that if anything goes wrong, I don't have to wait 1 or 2 weeks to get stuff back from DigiKey. So yes, yeah. So it might be a while until I build enough cash to do all of those things. So in the meantime, I might be just making videos out of making music, and until I figure out if I can find a webcam or something somewhere, I'm probably gonna be just making recordings on my cell phone, and it's gonna be obnoxious a little bit, but my videos have never been super pro as far as this channel is concerned. I did very good stuff for Watermelon, but that's a completely different story. I had time and resources for those. So right now, yes, it might be just these little videos out of my cell phone, but you guys have been through all of this with all the videos that I posted in this channel, so it's not gonna be anything different. But I definitely aim to improve, and as I find the opportunity to do that, I'll certainly do so. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you know anyone who likes this stuff, send my channel away from them. Share if you have any opinions, any questions. You know, comments below. Please let me know what you think or what you want to ask. I usually am very prompt to answer questions. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.